Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Crack a Can. This should be episode 7, I think, round about there. You may be thinking Ross has formed into an equally handsome man, but that is not the case. You met me in a previous video, but never as a host. My name is Andrew, one of 3 cogs that turn this wee wheel. And obviously I'm awkward at talking on camera, so this will be a fun show. Today we are talking to someone very special, world touring musician, the guitarist for the Geoff Tate band, former member of Queensryche, had his own solo career as well, did really well touring the world with that as well when he was younger. Just all-round stand-up guy, the one, the only, Superfly, Kieran Robertson. Thank you very much for coming on, mate.
How you doing, mate? I missed you.
I'm good, mate. Missed you too. It's too long, and it's still going to be too long before I see you again. How are you? How's Strix?
It's been good, man. Yeah, just was busy back home now. I think I was trying to think back to the last time I actually saw you. I think I think it was at your house, and then it was like a few days later. I was like, I have to go to Mexico. Am I remembering that wrong?
Yeah. It was like 2 days later. Or you were here on the Saturday, and then you were. I think it was like you were going to come around again and just chill on the following Saturday. And then it was like, we get a text, like a group chat text on the Wednesday or Thursday being like, all right, guys, I'm off to Mexico in 2 days. And we're like, oh, fuck, right, okay.
Yeah, man. It's just a bit mad. It was just like, that's the way this like always is. It's just pure last minute. Like, right, there you go. You'll go to like fucking Croatia or something. It's like, all right. So, yeah, it was good.
But I suppose that's as good a place as any to start. But first of all, we've got the important questions out of the way. So what's on the menu tonight? What have you got?
I got but I know it's Crack a Can, so I'm sorry I did that. I got a bottle of Corona.
A bottle.
Is that your face? Is that?
God forbid there's a bottle on Crack a Can.
You know what? I actually brought out though. I thought I'll be here for a while, so I actually brought out 2 bottles. So I could go back.
Okay, you know what? I'll give you that. I think next week's episode is just going to be crack whatever the fuck you want. No, go good, man. I'm on the absolute nectar of the gods. This is actually Rossi's, the other co-host, his favourite drink, mate. There you go, chin chin, Ross. So, there you go, get that doing you. Happy Saturday, mate. Chin chin.
Good day, crack. Cheers.
So, that's the spot. Beautiful. So I suppose just before we go into the ominous text we got, guys, I'm going to Mexico. Let's take it back. We're almost hitting a year now, 20th of March of the anniversary. So let's take it back if we can remember back that far. 20th of March, the UK has just been thrown into lockdown. Where were you at that point? What was going through your head? Like what happened when you first heard?
It was mad. Like we were touring, like we were in the middle of a world tour all the way through COVID starting. When we first heard about COVID, we were in like Norway, and it was just the first like, oh, there's this new sort of thing, and we were like, it'll be fine, it'll pass. We flew to Australia, and then it got a bit more serious, and then we flew. We were doing our US run, and just on I think it was March, it all shut down. We're in the middle of the US. And like it just kept getting like we were playing cities, like we played New York, and then we'd leave New York, and New York would shut down. Like we were like, fuck, like we literally, it was chasing us around the whole US. And then we had a show in Atlanta, this big theatre that we play, and like in the morning I got up and I got a text from our manager being like, wait, we're meant to go to Europe next, and they were like, oh, that's Europe cancelled now, guys.
Game's a bogey.
So, we were like, fuck, so like, well, at least we still have, because we're another month the American run, so like, we still have that. And then like 10 minutes before we went on stage, we got another phone call, like, that's the last show. So I went back to Seattle for a bit, but yeah, it was just like, we were like going around America, and it was just fault, like every city was shut down. And then the crowds as well, like when it started getting scared, we'd go out to like, 1,000 seaters, well, it was not like 700 to 1,000, and there was like maybe only like 40 people on the thing.
Yeah. So that was obviously we looked at it from a the musician point of view, how it felt, but did you get a lot of backlash like when you did eventually have to just call it and being like, right, okay, I'm sorry, we've got X amount of dates left? Did you get a lot of backlash for that, or were fans quite understanding, obviously, the situation?
Yeah, I mean, you're always a couple of decades getting mad. Like, no, most people are cool, understanding. We actually get more shit for doing shows and not doing shows now. Like now,
oh, well, right enough, aye.
People are like, oh, whatever. But every show we do is super socially distanced and correct. But everybody's been pretty understanding. Everybody's been pretty cool. Just a nightmare trying to reschedule a whole, you know what I mean, world tour.
No, definitely.
And there's like the ticket refunds and the people keep the tickets. But everybody's been pretty cool.
That's good. No, that's what you like to hear, because I mean, you've seen. I can't mind my band. Well, it's probably good. I can't mind my band because I'm a bit of shit on them. But but I think it was either America or Australia. I can't quite remember. Someone in the comments can maybe tell me what it was. And they just went ahead, did not give a shit. They just put on a package show. I think the venue was like 4,000 or 5,000 capacity.
Oh, that's great.
Put on the song. Right. I'm trying to mind who that was. I want to say.
I'm probably chatting shit as well, but I thought it was not Exodus or something like that.
See, I was going to say Five Finger Death Punch, but I can't confirm or deny it. We'll find that out. But
what's the shit in all these bands?
I know, shit. Sorry, I hope you're not watching this, Ivan. If you're watching this, I apologise.
I can see what he did, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's got more stab wounds than I've fucking drank cans. Like
my dad just always tells me this story. He was backstage at fucking like Glastonbury or something, Five Finger Death Punch one. He was at the food bit, and he was like, he's a big Five Finger Death Punch fan. He's like, I got to talk to Ivan, and Ivan was sitting at the table, like just himself, apparently just firing food. My dad's like, went to go sit next to him, and just turned away. He's like, that I can't. Just sitting there eating his fucking
like what was the one to get in a fight with some person at a show because they were on their phone? I mean, that's happened a lot of times. But I don't know. Do you think you would ever, just on that note, like, do you think you would ever do that? So say, maybe not so much with Geoff Tate, but like if you are on your solo career, you're on a solo tour, and you can see somebody just like right at the front, but they're just on their phone the entire, not videoing you, just like on their phone the entire time. Would you pull them up for it? Like, would you say something?
It's honestly, I have, but not in that bad a way. Like I've had like problems of, you have a couple of drinks on stage and then, something kicks off, but it's not being on the phone bothers me. If somebody's in the front row and they're just like scrolling Facebook or something, like that's cool. Like you paid for the ticket, so I'm golden. The one that annoys me, and I don't mind people filming, but it's when they go onto the stage and like like filming like there, and I'm like, then I move, I knock your phone, and then I've had to be like, no, don't do that. But I think you know what I mean. Like you can't get all the attention. Can't like it's like if I'm on stage, I can't get mad at everybody looking at Geoff because it's Geoff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Facebook's pretty important, I guess. So, does that piss you off at concerts if you're sitting there and you see somebody like?
I don't know. I think because we are at that age that we've seen both sides of it. Like we were going to gigs that young, and whether somebody chose to bring in a camera that was like the size of two hands, like just like doing that, like recording shows. I think we probably since we were the last generation of non-recorded shows. No, it was that way. It's like when we first started going to gigs, it was it was like you and gig and that was it. And then you slowly see it, like it started as cameras get more, our phones started to get more advanced. The flip phone, you could take a really shitty video of it, but you still had that video, obviously, to now that you could basically live stream the whole thing to somebody who hasn't like got a ticket. I think I'm guilty of it as well. Like I will video songs like Alter Bridge, like Blackbird. That's probably my favorite song ever. So obviously, if I'm watching it live, I'm going to record it. Just I know I'll remember it, but it's still just nice to look back on. Whereas, and that's for one song, or maybe a bit of a song even. But it's the person who's like the entire show, like, and you wonder how much arm strength they've got because like the hand doesn't move.
The whole show, the one we have that annoys us is people will put like, again, you want to record a song like say fucking Silent Lucidity is your favourite song, you record it, but it's always like the ones that record the full set, they leave it on like they'll book a balcony seat and they'll leave it and then they'll post the whole show, like they'll post like the hour-long show with time and it's like it doesn't translate, like you know what I mean, like, and then everybody's like this and it's like you weren't there, you know what I mean, like you didn't get the back, like it's just, and then people judge that and it's like just come to the show, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like that's one thing that I find with that. I mean, like people who record shows I think the one thing is, probably the thing that pisses me off the most is excuse me, is the people that live stream it. And you know, I remember I posted something on Facebook years and years ago now, and I think it was like Ed Sheeran or Biffy was playing Hamden. Oh no, it was Biffy because I wanted to go to the gig, and then I posted my Facebook and like, just as well I didn't buy a ticket because I just watched the entire gig on Snapchat stories, and it's that way. So I get it if you get a snippet, but like, just don't record the whole show, mate. Just, you know, buy a ticket.
And it's
if you want to see it.
when we do actual paid live stream things, like so people buy tickets to that, and then like I look and like fucking 2 days later somebody's uploading the songs to YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because that's the thing. It's obviously, as a musician, like, do you tend to sit there and go, well, not so much what's the point in us doing this, but like, you know, how can somebody? Because obviously your stream stays up. Like you have the stream, say it's on the Saturday, but your stream stays up for a couple of days afterwards, doesn't it?
Yeah, we keep it up for a couple of days, but you know, we think the way people are doing it is just actually recording the screen, like with like a perfect. So like it's I mean, at the end of the day though, it's like what are you gonna do? You can't.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. But it's just feel bad for people that have bought the tickets. But it's that whole. Remember those like adverts you get in the starter, like when you rent a DVD and it'd be like, you wouldn't steal it. Like, you know, it's like that, but it's like it is stealing. But everybody just decided music was free, didn't they? So
yeah. How do you find it? See when you're with them, if you've been with them now, I suppose in the venue you just played, like I'm assuming that was like segregated tables and it was a lot. Like not you say you played to hundreds but not thousands, the capacity could have. How do you feel now, like announcing shows, like actually getting back into things based on, you know, how things are going to be? I suppose the best way to word that is, like, obviously you're announcing shows, but they're never going to be the full potential of the show, if you get me.
Yeah, just hopeful, man. Like I just hope it fucking, like they're saying all restrictions lifted by June or whatever. I just hopeful that the shows go back to normal. And like it was like, and then we have to play, you know, maybe we have to play bigger venues. Like the show we did in Florida was 1,000 people, and Florida's a bit more lax than everywhere else. Florida. But I do love Florida. But it was like 1,000 people in a 3,000 seater, I believe, and that felt a bit like a show because it was like 1,000 people. Even, but still, it was like, you know, it was like 2 people, 2 spaces, 2 people, 2 space. Like you know, I think it's gonna go back to normal. I'm really looking forward to actually doing a show again, more like, because I even feel weird about like I'll throw out like fucking 20 guitar picks a night. I'm not even be doing that. And like, I mean, like, I love going outside. One of my favorite things to do, and it's probably not the right thing to do, especially now, is like sharing. Like, if I'm outside smoking a joint and a fan.
Oh shit! Yeah, I've got you.
Like, but again, that's back to my thing of like, if Tommy, not that I'm fucking Tommy Lee, but if Tommy Lee was like, hey, like, you know, so I love, like, it's such a bonding thing. That's like a fan for life moment.
Oh, certainly,
you know?
Yes. Yeah.
It's gonna be a shame to not fucking do that. But yeah, I think it will go back at some point.
So, you know, all the segregation, like, you know, separate tables, split seating, that kind of stuff. Is that what you think all that can be done for venues to keep them safe, or do you think venues can go a step further on how they can relegate having people in to get back to a stage where they can do sellout shows? Like, what do you think would be a good step for step plan as a musician to see that happen?
I mean, fuck, it's like what more can you do? You know what I mean? Like, the venues are so gubbed just now with like not being able to do anything, like the amount of money they're losing, the amount of people losing jobs. I'm very much for that. I think like every venue we've worked at has been really good with social distancing. Like even like I mean, the band all like we wear a mask, you know, for walking anywhere and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I think as long as we keep it to masks and like, but no, I don't think like venues aren't doing enough. I think chin cheers, man. Yeah, no, I think actually venues need to be given a bit more leeway. Like in that whole thing of just don't be stupid about it, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying people should have like mosh pits and stuff just now. But,
yeah.
You know, like they can fit more than 100 people in 1,000 cap. You know, maybe once it all starts to, you know, kick off. I just hope that once it is safe, like that, then they let the venues survive again. Because like,
definitely,
I wouldn't want to own a venue right now. Like that'd be
God, I know.
you know.
Yeah, like I mean, if you look at I mean, obviously, I instantly thought there was Carhouse because obviously that's our second home. But any venue in the UK, like in Glasgow, or all over the world, if you want to make it expansive. But yeah, obviously they're, for lack of a better phrase, getting shat on just now because whether they're local government or the government of the country, however it stands, and they're just like they don't realise that. I think it was like something. And I could have this number completely wrong. I've not really fact checked it, but it's something like 72 million that the nightlife industry puts into the UK economy, and like just in the UK itself.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there going like, "Oh, we've not got enough money to extend furlough, that kind of stuff." Like, I'm not saying open up the venues again, getting the money back in, but something's better than nothing. Open them up as bar, like how Catty did. Fair enough, there was no music, which was a stupid rule in my own opinion.
Man, that's just the mad rule. Like, I understand they say it's because you're meant to be like talking louder and you'll be shouting, it spreads more particles, but it's just like bars can open, but there's no fun allowed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the stupid rules. Like, I understand there has to be rules, but it's just like some of them are just fucking mad, man.
Yeah.
Like insane. Like the one I thought was weird, and I think it's because you have to take 8 days for the virus to develop. I needed a negative COVID test to go on my plane. Then I needed a negative COVID test 3 days after I landed. And then I still had to self-isolate for another 10 days and then get another COVID test 8 days. And I was like, well, I had one to get on the plane.
Yeah.
And it's like, I had one and I landed, so now can't I go out because I have a two? But it's just, it is what it is. But I don't understand it, so,
Again, I mean, you look at, the UK anyway, we've handled this, the government has handled it badly, but I'm not going to sit there and say it's an easy job to manoeuvre all this. However, I think just every country should look at Australia, who are back exactly where we want to be. Everything's back to normal, and be like, right, okay, just get their step-by-step plan and implement it here. Like, it's not that hard. New Zealand survived.
I remember sitting in America when it was all coming out because I wasn't in the UK, and I remember watching the Boris thing where he was like, "We'll take it in the chin," and all of us and all the Americans just like, "What the fuck? Like, it's lunatic, man!" It's just mad. And now it's all like, we're closing it. It's like, you fucking closed down too late, But I get everybody's just like, I wouldn't want to have that job. But
no. Like, I'm supposed to jump into what you have been doing. I've seen your Instagram anyway. Writing new music, I know that obviously you're doing stuff for Geoff, like you're reading. What album is that now that you're working on?
I can't say really anything about what the album is.
That's fair.
I can talk about it's a new album. It's a new Geoff Tate album. It's the coolest fucking. It's gonna blow people's minds when it comes out. What it's about.
Looking forward to it.
It's gonna be fucking lit. I'm that's things. If you had a couple more beers, I'd have probably fucked up. It's going to be great. We've been recording that. It's fucking massive. Getting that done in Seattle, we're recording that, and then just been working some other, like, this year's got some really cool stuff coming out. It's just a shit, like, a lot of it's really like under, like, just about to pop off.
No, it's completely understandable. Yeah.
So, but yeah, doing the new album, it's sounding fucking banging. I think we're like maybe 9 or 10 songs into it. Just starting to get Geoff's vocals on them now as well. It's really cool to actually. Yeah, it's like, it needs to be mixed and but we've got a good amount of guitars done. We hired like an old JCM 800 amplifier, which is the ones Queensryche used, so it sounds like
it's the same tone, the same.
Oh man, it's like. Yeah. It's like it's like Queensryche, but metal, but fucking Pink Floyd. It's gonna be really sick.
I'm for it, mate. Looking forward to it.
But good. No, I'm buzzing. It'll be sick, and man, just getting that done, man.
Have you been working? Because obviously, like, you yourself, like, to take Geoff Tate out of it. Like, have you been working on any solo stuff? Have you been sound producing? That makes sense.
No, I've not been
working on anything out with Geoff.
No, I've been really just trying to dive into the album and just get it smashed. To be honest, been doing that. I've been doing a lot of other sort of behind the scenes stuff, with Geoff stuff as well. I did some music for an artist called Zimber, which is sick. It's like a like sort of pop rocks, not pop rocks, like poppy kind of electro Depeche Mode stuff. So
right,
I did some work for her. and yeah, I've just been I always write songs, but just don't really know what to do with them yet.
Yeah, because did we not have this discussion last time I actually saw you? And it was like you how to make like a fantastic tune, but when it comes to the lyrics, like you would rather be given them
yeah, that, and as well, like, dude, I would love to like I'd love to be able to sing. Like I can hold a tune, like I can do, but like see the way like fucking Geoff's a singer, like Axl Rose is a singer, like I would love to be able to sing, but I don't that's not, I don't have that thing. So for me, it's like if I can do all the music, that's easy to me. But when it comes to like when I sing the demos and shit, I'm like, this is so fucking shit. Like, I need a singer. I always need to work with a singer.
Did you well, in saying that, I mean, how, because you had a very, very successful solo career when you did Europe. I don't know, did you go across to America when it was just you? Was it Europe?
Yeah, it was just Europe, and it was just, we did Germany and we did the Scotland. It was like it sort of blew up more sort of online than it did like in person. Like the shows are relatively alright shows, and we did a Glasgow show that I was apparently addicted to at as well. Sorry for that.
Oh yeah, so I was going to tell that story. So for the viewers at home, the benefit of that story was I used to think, and I've told him, and I love him now, but like when I first met Kieran, I thought he was a right arsehole. I thought he was like a proper like rock star diva. There wasn't just, I looked at him and just went, and it was a wee bit of jealousy because he's a sexy bastard. However, it was playing the garage because we booked you, because I was part of we've had this, obviously I've told you this, but when rock radio in Scotland anyway, it got turned off for a while, and there was a big campaign to bring it back. So there was a rock radio comeback show, and I think it was Gun, yourselves, there was another band that was We Are Haunted. But you were I think you were the second support at that time, just for your solo stuff. So I'm stood there and I'm taking tickets, and like whatever I was dealing with at that time, and then Kieran's heading towards the stage, I'm heading off stage, and then just like, this is like that, and me being me, I was like, oh sorry mate, and he just went, and I just kept walking. I was like, okay, I think that was both of our faults. And it was after that, I was just like, oh, that prick. Oh, I hate him. But then obviously,
it doesn't sound like, I'm sure it happened. Maybe I was just in stage mode, but I'd like to publicly apologise. I didn't mean to. Dude, I had a guy that I told in Chicago like 2 years ago, and this isn't cancelling, but I told him on stage. He started spitting on me and all this shit. So I basically stood at night, stopped the show, told him to fuck off, whatever, leave the show. So he left the show, and it was cool. I was like, yeah, it's done. That was an interaction, but it's done. And then like he held this grudge, and next year when we played Chicago, showed up, threatened to shoot me on stage. And I had to get like a fucking cop to come down. It's
Jesus
like,
Christ.
and then I'm like, and just from telling somebody to fuck off, like that's the reaction. So it's just like, I'm worried if I say it, like that's the action for that. Like, what if I say something? You know what I mean?
I had no idea that happens. So I mean, like you sit there and you look at it, like seeing that situation when it happened, because the first thing that popped into my head when you said that there was obviously the Dimebag Darrell and how he died.
Yeah, man, right?
Like what? Like see when he said that, like, I mean, it's a very Glaswegian thing to go, aye, very good, aye, on you go. But was there a wee part of you that just, there was a wee voice inside your head going, I'm in America, so...
Dude, my first thing was that they had, because I came off the bus, I was on the bus and I went out the door, and it was this fucking like swatted up cop dude there. And I was like, hey man, and he's like, hey, my name's whatever, I can't remember his name. He was really nice. I'm here to walk you to the stage tonight. And I was like, oh, I'm cool, man. I don't fucking need like a security, like it's fine. Yeah. And he's like, no, we have a threat against you. And I messaged the tour manager, like, what's going on? They're like, well, that guy's fucking came back. He said to the merch girl and all this shit. And then I was like, oh look, let's just sort this now. Just get him here. We'll have a chat. Like, my thing was like, not even to swear going, but just to like bring him here. We'll have a fucking chat. Like, we'll talk about it. I'll say sort if he apologizes, and the cop's like, nah, we can't do that. Like, and I was like, look, I'll go fucking talk, and the cop's like, you can't do that. So and then on stage though, the cop was right next to him the whole show, and the guy didn't do it. So
obviously, I know you can't really say a lot about the album and everything's coming up, which means like there's just more. you know, hype for it because you can't tell me anything right now, but it'll come out soon. It'll be good. But what in the experience over the past year anyway, like, to summarize, how would you say that COVID, the whole situation it is right now, has actually affected the music industry in like one sentence, besides it's fucked it?
It's fucked it. That's the first thing I was going to say. It's fucked it, man. Like, it's really fucked it. It's nail on the coffin it, but I guess we're coming back because, you know, again, every day, like, again, and I wasn't around for it, but again, the, you know, 80s or 90s when MTV started coming out and popping, then it's like, okay, music's now free, so you don't have to buy records, so that's free. So we're going, right, we still have our live shows, we can make money off this. And then COVID just went, nope, you can't make money. So honest, I know you're saying don't, but that's the only, it's fucked it, but we'll come back. And you know what, it'll make me appreciate it more as well, like what I do and shit, because it's just a bit, you know, rather than being on stage being like, oh, I've got 100 more shows. It's like I wish I'd known, you know, before the tour to appreciate every show. But yeah, it has fucked it, but it's a shame for a bunch of people, but we'll come back.
Yeah, and I think that's such a good point to end on. Like, we will come back. Like, this will pass, and it's going to be so good when it does. For the time being, obviously, we're stuck to Zoom interviews and, you know, drinking in the house and watching band streams and that kind of stuff. But yeah, we will come back. And you know what? When it does, it's going to be so much better. Like you say, appreciate you didn't realise you had to appreciate your last show. You're now going to appreciate every single show. I think this is going to have such a momentous impact on the live music industry, which will be amazing. Which again, when you know, when you're doing your UK tour back with Geoff, like when you're back in the UK, back over Europe, when you're able to, I think, in my own opinion, I think you'll notice a vast change in atmosphere, like just with everything that we've gone through over the past year. Yeah,
no, I totally agree. I think it's just going to come back strong, and people are so choking. I think we're going to have very drunk crowds because people will be used to going out drinking, so it'll be a fucking laugh and they'll just be pissed, and I'm looking forward to it, man. It sucks, but we'll be back stronger and better.
Exactly. I think that's definitely the best way to end this is just the, like firing home that phrase, we will be back. Like, everything's going to go back to normal. Like, we will be mosh pitting, we're getting thrown about in pits, you know, You'll be throwing picks off stage again. It will come back. In the meantime, I guess, obviously we touched on it, I know you can't talk about it too much, but, you know, what have we got to look forward to then? Like, from this, you know, what's coming from you, what's coming from, you know, the Geoff Tate band, you know, what have we got to hold on to, Kieran?
We have an album coming out that's going to be getting finished, getting an announcement that soon. Some awesome new merch that's not clothing, but I can't say any more about that. Ooh. But some awesome new fucking merch that'll be out probably in the next few weeks. I'll tell you about it after it's fucking sick. But
of course, yeah.
It's coming out. But yeah, merch and album, but the album and lots of touring. Our world tour's just been pushed back. So I believe in well, September we start in the US doing a whole USA run, and then we do Europe starting the UK in August. Then we have September in Europe. So fuck me, man. It's all these beers.
That's what we do, mate. That's what we do. We try and whittle answers out of you through the beer.
Obviously, starting the UK. September we do America, and then it's just fucking the world tour after that, and we keep going. Stuff. So that'll be good, man. Everything's just been pushed. So all those tour dates that people have seen, they've just been pushed back.
Yeah, definitely, man. And we're definitely looking forward. I mean, you know for a fact the second you play Glasgow, I mean, I'm probably going to train you for it, but you're like, oh, you know, can you give me some backstage entry? You know, just fucking do that. You know, I'm looking forward to it. Even if that was the case, I'd certainly, especially right now, I'd certainly buy a ticket anyway, like just to, again, to support the music, support the band.
No, I did.
Which what everyone should be doing.
You are the listener.
Much appreciated. Yeah, fucking, I'll drink to that. There we go, chin. But yeah, again, like, honestly, thank you so much for speaking to us. This has been a smashing interview. I'm so glad this was my first one to actually like show face to the followers, the subscribers on this. Yeah, this has been Kieran Robertson, guitar for the Geoff Tate band. just a smashing all-round handsome bastard. And you know it, mate. But yeah, can look forward to seeing you soon, actually, in person. Again, everyone who's following this, yeah, you've got a new album to look forward to a date's coming up. Cannot wait for the UK tour. Comment below what you're looking forward to. Let us know. You know what? Let me know how I did as a host. I know Ross has obviously been holding the fort for now. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in to Crack a Can. Kieran, thank you so much for being a part of it. And we'll catch you in the next episode.
Cheers, dude.
Chin chin. We'll end it on that one.